Welcome back. It's Freezer Vibe, three voices in one vibration with your girl Deonti, the conquering lioness whose thought process ain't one to contest in any context, so pre my concepts.
And your girl Ria, your wild unfiltered babe, giving it raw and taking it raw, and that's on period.
It's your girl Diolinda, the bubbly queen, sweet like mango. Everywhere I go, I make the mango. Creativity on high like Van Gogh. And to my left, we have
Shags.
What does your boy like? SHE, double G.
SHE, double G, triple Z, get to know me. You'll never forget that.
Very plain simple. Ellie Henry here. Yes.
Okay.
So we are here with no other than Unscripted.
Thank you very much for
having us.
We're so excited to have you guys.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Oh, really?
So that's seen as you missed the last one.
That's not what we heard last time.
We heard nothing last time.
Silence. Radio silence.
Circumstances.
We're glad that circumstances were different today.
Okay. Circumstances. I was always going to be here.
So if you guys could just introduce, tell us what your podcast is about to our audience so they can...
So our podcast is called Unscripted. We have unfiltered, unscripted conversations about topics that everyone kind of, goes through in life. So relatable stuff. We try and stay away from like the generic stuff that you hear a lot of other podcasts and content creators make. But we kind of try and be like entertaining and informative at the same time. So you always got to learn something. You always got to pick up something from the end of any of our conversations.
Lovely.
And today is a special day because this is the first time we've been invited on another pod.
What?
Very excited.
Not the exclusive, baby.
Very excited.
Okay. Listen, the first of many, and it's a good thing that was with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Honored. Humbled.
What?
Oh my God.
Love that.
Days.
So obviously yesterday you guys had your live show.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm still buzzing. Like,
We're so proud of you guys that it was.
No, I really appreciate it, honestly.
What was the process like, setting that up, getting that together?
The process.
I'm going to let this man do this.
The process, wow. The process started 2 years ago.
Wow.
Kind of,
Yeah, she did pretty much.
So we started the pod like summer 2019. And then like at the end of 2019, I spoke to Shegs and I said, oh, you know what? At that time I saw Joe Budden doing live pods in America. I thought, I haven't seen any in the UK do it so far. So then I was trying to reach the Box Park event manager who was based in Wembley at the time. No avail. Obviously pandemic came, 2020, blocked everything off. Then to arrange this, we were basically going back and forth trying to get a date and whatnot for the past 4 months.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a big backstory. I won't go too deep, but big backstory. Yeah,
There's a lot.
Indeed. Yeah,
but it happened.
Yeah, and it was a success.
Yeah.
it was very humbling.
Thank you
honestly.
guys for
Thank you so much.
No, of course.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it.
Support the bros there.
Yeah. I love the performances, by the way. I love your choices of the
The artists were
That was
cold.
really
The
good.
artists
That was a
were
good balance.
Did you understand why they were top 3? I mean, do you agree? If you disagree, it's okay as well.
I
They
agree.
didn't see the hundreds of.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That guy though, he's singing.
Wow.
I played
You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah, that therapy
That R&B,
I
we
played
need
that
that
this
back,
morning.
that R&B vibe. I just love it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too bad myself.
Oh, slow down. Go on. Lay a couple. Come on, a few notes.
You know when you just brain freeze? I need
Like that. No, that Maxwell note. That Maxwell note. Go on.
Come back to me.
What were your favorite performances though for you guys?
that singer guy
And the rapper.
Amiko.
He was
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
it. His music was deep.
Tides.
I love the Afro beats as well though, because that was like,
Oh
that was such a good vibe. I love the girl, like her range, and she had a good,
Everyone was amazing.
I think everyone was good.
They were all
It was a great
amazing,
selection.
I think that girl, to me, someone told me sounds like Georgia Smith.
Yeah.
I didn't-
Yeah,
kind of does have the same.
She has
kind-
like that
Soulful.
neo soul
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
cool vibes. I love that.
Yeah, well done, guys.
No, thank
Thank
you.
you,
So
man.
again,
You're gonna do another one. Like, do you plan to do
hopefully
another one?
soon.
Yeah.
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 Soon,
Yeah.
it's coming, isn't it?
And to get Nissy T as well. That's amazing.
Yeah.
She's an amazing.
Yeah.
She is, and she knows her stuff, and like you
Yeah.
tell like
How did you
dropping
make that
gems.
connection?
Ooh, so we actually had a run on the podcast again during like There was some positives that actually came from like Corona, like in terms of like getting guests and whatnot. It's a lot easier to like have someone over like a video call or video call.
Okay.
Sometimes it is getting a person in person. So
Yeah.
we did kind of capitalize on that. So we did like sit down online on Zoom
Yeah.
with her. And it was a good conversation. And then now reached out again saying that we've got the event, and process was pretty much seamless. So
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, it was like you said during the pandemic. Obviously, a funny time, but like when life kind of throws you curveballs, you need to kind of adjust and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's funny looking back. We got some good guests, and obviously Nissy was one of them that year. So yeah, it was really nice.
Amazing.
I just do want to ask as well. What made you guys start your podcast?
Where do you know what it is? Yeah. So for me, I feel like I've always been someone. I just want to get stuff off my chest. I was just like,
It's like therapy, isn't it?
it's like therapy. It's therapy. And then I remember 2019, like I was thinking about something, but then Ellie started. You must have been having the same thoughts at the same time.
Yeah.
And he must have reached out to me saying that, oh yeah, he's got this idea, whatever, whatnot. Let's kind of like sit down together and see like how we
come
can
from it,
Yeah.
merge it together and like how we'd make it happen. And yeah, it made it happen. And
How did you two know each other then?
Yeah, I was going to next.
He's the spokesman today. Go ahead.
From school.
Yeah.
We went to the same secondary school.
He has a lot to say today because he missed.
He's making up. He's a spokesman today.
Yeah, because we know each other from secondary school as well.
We know
so-
each other from secondary school.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
good. You got that
Yeah.
longevity. in there.
Longevity.
Yeah, that brotherhood.
Longevity.
That's
And it was
good.
a serious secondary school. So yeah, man.
Boys' school as
It's a
well.
boys' school.
Oh,
Yeah,
we went to
girls.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Madness.
That's crazy.
Well, our girls' school was as crazy as boys' school.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Because I heard that you guys get up to.
Nah, that's a good connection, and it makes sense why you guys have so much chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Lovely.
yeah, on to today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We are going to be talking about religion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're gonna be talking about the church.
We feel like it's an important topic, like especially in this day and age, because like so much comes from religion. So many people believe or don't believe. So many people are being led astray. And not only that, we just feel as though like things are happening, or a lot of things are changing, and some people are reverting back to religion in order to find like their source, because a lot of people are very materialistic and so on. So like we just want to have that conversation because we haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
And we thought that it would be good to have this conversation with you both.
Yeah. And also a lot of people lose like out of touch with religion.
Yeah,
get back into
yeah.
it. And you know that journey also happens like as you grow up, because you start to realize a lot of things around religion.
Yeah.
You start doing your research, and
Yeah.
then
You start asking questions.
Then you go on social media and you see pastors doing a madness.
Pastor Toby.
oh, he's gonna come up with this. Trust me.
He's getting called out today.
He's an
Back Nation, bro.
Influencer. Influencer.
Basically,
You got the drip, man. Offending and Fendi.
Love that. Offended and Fendi.
but how did you guys grow up in terms of religion? Like,
Yeah.
what customs did you have?
Okay. So for me, I'm Nigerian.
yeah.
Most Nigerian parents, or Nigerians in general, were very kind of like faith orientated. Like Nigeria is pretty much split between like half Christians, half Muslims.
Yeah.
Like for me, my parents, well, actually, my mum's family were actually Muslim, But my mum converted, became Christian. My dad's Christian,
wow.
both Christian. So I was brought up in a Christian household kind of thing. And obviously when you're younger, you're just following, like, you just go to church.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
go to
yeah.
church.
Yeah,
Like, you have to. But for me, I'll say, like, as I got older, and I feel like it's down to like a lot of things that like I witnessed and I experienced in my life. I felt like, number one, let me backtrack actually. So yeah, down to the experiences and stuff like that, I feel like I kind of, you know, got my own kind of experience and believing that, okay, there is a higher power and there is like a God up there kind of thing. So that was like my first realization that, okay, aside from even like my faith, I'm Christian and whatnot, like knowing that there's a higher power, that there's somebody greater than us kind of thing, that was like the first step for me. And then little things that I was witnessing in my life as well was like leading me down the line to realize that Christianity is my faith, and it's not just something that my parents like have put onto me. It's something that I've now found as truth for me. You know what I'm saying?
Deep.
So for me, it's kind of similar in a way. I'm from Congolese. So I was brought to the church by my parents growing up. And, well, when you're a kid, you just kind of follow where your parents go. And so it was during school time, I'd say like secondary school time, kind of similar to Shagan, through different life experiences and being open-minded, I think is key. Being open-minded, you know, I found my faith, which I refer it as faith as opposed to religion, because the belief that I have in God is more of a relationship. And just looking at, you know, what religion, quote unquote, has done in the world today, it's more division, it's more following strict rules and so on and so forth. So it was like during the secondary school period where I found it for myself. And then I came to the realization that, as Shagan said as well, like, I'm not self-made, to put it plain and simple. I need help. There are certain issues that we go through, especially internally, that cannot be solved, with any external thing. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Wow.
Faith,
Wow. I love it.
Do you guys believe in like God or higher power?
Yeah.
I grew up, going to Catholic church, so it's a bit different to everyone else, So obviously the service is always kind of like the same kind of order, and you're always doing the same things and prayers and stuff like that. But I also used to go to, obviously here they call it a Sunday school, but we had it on Saturdays. So we were like studying the Bible and all of that. We had a Holy Communion, and like obviously you go through all the levels and you try to get to the highest one, and then you can be like, you know, those boys in the altar helping the priest and all of that. So it was very different compared to like when I came to the UK, because when we came here, my mum would go to so many different churches. So like I've seen like all different types of churches, like Baptist church, UCKG, Jehovah's, like I've seen different things in every single one. So that's kind of what made me kind of lose touch with my faith and my religion, because I was seeing so many different people tell me different things and have different motives, which kind of lost track of what it was actually supposed to be about. So that's when I started asking questions and start wondering, like, why this, why like that, why are there 5 different envelopes for money? Like, why? Like, one is pink for career, one is red for money. Like, it's just, it didn't make sense. And then the pastors are showing you, you can get this beautiful house, mansion. Do you want to be like this? Do you want to be like? It's just like, it was a lot to deal with as a person growing up. But now it's just like, I'm still there. I'm still discovering myself, my journey. I believe in God. I pray every night before I go to sleep and stuff like that. I follow the customs to a certain extent. But there's a lot of questions.
That's interesting.
A lot of questions.
What about you, Rhea?
Well, for me, I remember going Catholic church when I was younger, but other than that, like my parents didn't go to church or take me to church. So I didn't really go to church like that.
How did that affect you though?
It didn't.
This is what it is.
Because I've always believed in God. Like my mum's always taught me about God. Obviously, told me about God, but it's like we just never went to church. Like it just wasn't. We used to go, but then we just stopped going, I guess. But like my mum recently, like in the last few years, she did find a church, because sometimes you got to like look around and find your church. And then she was going, but then she hasn't gone for a little while still. But for me, I just feel like I don't know about the church. I feel like I can still believe in God, pray to God, and have my faith and do that all from home. I just don't believe in this. There's something about the church that doesn't feel like authentic to me. I feel like there's something that's just like,
Okay. For me, I grew up Christian, but I also grew up Muslim as well. So like growing up, like I kind of had like the influences from both and then trying to understand like which is which, and trying to decipher like, okay, if I go this way, then like these people that I know and that I respect and that I love are potentially going to hell. Because you know, when you're at a very young age, my understanding of like say for example the Christian side, the Bible, if you don't believe in Christianity, then you're going to hell. So it was like, all of my Muslim friends that I went mosque with is like going to hell, and then vice versa. But as I got a lot like older, secondary school and stuff, it was more so Christianity, and I was I was like always in a church and stuff like that. But having both of those teachings in my life, it kind of made me question a lot of things. So like even though there was times when I was like advocate for Jesus, like nobody couldn't tell me anything. I still holy. I can't like. She didn't even listen to certain songs. She wouldn't even listen to certain music. Because like I took my relationship with God very seriously, and then also like the people that I went to church with, and like being a part of ministry and all of those things.
Was it secondary school times?
Secondary school, sixth form.
If you saw her phone, it was just gospel. I swear to God.
I've been in that phase as well.
I mean, I feel like every Christian goes through that phase, like Jesus junkie, like trying to get those people to come to your church and get the numbers up. But it just made me question a lot of things. But then as I got older, I felt like there was a particular event that happened in my life where like I questioned everything. So like my best friend was murdered, and like I was in second year of uni.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. And like for me, that's when I was just like, like, okay, God, like you're all knowing, all seeing, like, and like how can this happen?
Why does bad things happen to
good people? And then I just start, even though I was still like going to church in uni and stuff like that, but like I wasn't necessarily dedicated. Like I was doing other things. Like I didn't take my relationship with God as serious. I always knew that, you know, there was a God, but I didn't take it as serious. And then sometimes I'm lenient on Bible teachings, and then other times I'm lenient on Islamic teachings. So so that's me,
You just reminded me of something. You know, he said Jesus junkie. Do you guys remember like them hoodies? Jesus junkie.
There was purple.
There was those days was funny. Do you know what's funny? Because like even like some of my like Muslim boys were wearing that as well, and I was just like,
Drip is drip.
Remember the rosaries as well? And the little bracelets.
Everyone was wearing a rosary regardless of whatever religion you were on. I was like,
the glow in the dark one.
But that's mad though. How you wearing a rosary to a motive?
God bless you.
Jesus just watching you, doesn't mess about. But anyway,
that's actually so true, man.
It's funny, man. It's funny. But you know, like it's interesting what you're saying, because I had a similar experience where I've had like I'll say like 2 or 3 like similar experiences where like I'll say my faith and belief was like proper shaken. Like I won't even say shaken. It really crumbled at a certain point, because like it was just like, I don't want to go into detail about the situations, but it was just like very like how, like come on, like how can this happen to like this person and whatnot. So I do definitely understand where you're coming from.
It's real life.
It's real life. It's real life. It's real life, and that's the thing. But then, do you know what? Like I'll say, kind of got me out of that place was really just thinking that I'm not the only person really that's experienced this. Everybody has
for
and
example,
will
yeah.
experience
Yeah.
loss or illness or
Yeah.
something like that. So for me to like, you know, dedicate my faith just on the or place my faith just on the basis that everything around me is gonna be well and good and all that kind of stuff. It's not right. And that's why I do understand what you guys are saying in terms of churches, because a lot of churches kind of preach that, well, or teach that, oh yeah, if you like, you know, serve God, like everything is gonna be nice, you're gonna be wealthy, everything is gonna be good for you. That's not gonna happen. That's a lie. That's a lie. So I do understand where you're coming from. Like where there's churches will be like, okay, put this amount or whatever, sow this seed and what, you're gonna be good.
But
so what does that mean for the Donnies that are living in extreme poverty? What, so when they're praying and whatnot, do you think that they all of a sudden they're gonna become rich? That's not the case. So I do understand what you're saying in that sense. But at the same time, it goes back to what Ellie said. Like for me personally, I kind of came to the journey came to the understanding that like my faith is outside. I call it faith again, like going back to what Ellie said, and not really religion. Obviously, people title Christianity as religion, but for me, really,
do you think people should separate the two?
I feel like it is. I feel like you should
100%,
separate the two. I feel like you should separate the two, because I feel like you can, you know, follow a religion and whatnot, but like for me, my relationship or what kind of it is personal with God. If there is a Bible chapter that I can quote, it's this one: work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I think I got that. I'm not sure if I got it correctly. But it's something like that. It's along those lines. And I came to that understanding very early. Like nobody else can kind of, you know, create that relationship with you. It's even like when I'm interacting, if I'm interacting with like, I don't know, your partner or something like that, you cannot base your relationship with that partner based on how other people are in their relationship. Kind of, even though a lot of people are doing that now, goals and all of that, but it's a personal
The broken.
thing.
Heal first.
But that's actually interesting that you said that, because do we really need pastors and priests to get to God?
Yeah.
Like, is
I
that a
don't think we
necessity?
do.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Ellie?
What do you think?
I don't think we need them. But God being God, unless anyone's seen him in person, I personally haven't.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, anytime soon as well, bro. No.
But God being God, he uses people on earth. And he can use examples, he can use references. That's why sometimes when people say as well, oh, how can I, personally for me, I don't understand when people say, oh, how can I believe the Bible because it was written by man? Well, did you expect God to magically just...
But there's so many different versions and...
No, that is a fact.
Let's get into
And we'll
it.
get to that.
Hey.
But like in terms of like, do we need priests and stuff? We don't need. But the way I see it is that God uses anyone and can use anyone to bring them closer to him and help them kind of nurture that relationship at the same time. So although people might, like in an institution like a church, have title of priest, pastor or whatnot, we're all in the same boat. It's just the title, but God can use people to kind of encourage others to, you know, get closer to him.
Yeah.
But do you
But
think...
some of them are false, isn't
Yeah, do you think all those people are chosen by God? Or do you
Definitely
think...
not all of them.
No.
But again, I feel like a lot of times, like when we have these kind of conversations, we always kind of look at the bad ones. Like we always look at the guys that are, you know, defrauding people and telling people the
Buying
false
houses,
prophets, and all this kind of
yeah,
stuff.
money.
But then again, like going back to your question, do we need like pastors? Do we need teachers? You don't need a teacher to learn, do you?
That's
No.
true.
You can learn
You
by
can teach yourself, yeah.
Again, there is a benefit of having someone that has got more experience
Yeah.
in whether it's faith
Yeah.
or like a certain subject. There is a benefit in having that. Not all teachers are gonna be good. There's some teachers that were
Wasted.
Let me don't even get started on those. but again, like there are good teachers as well. So I feel like it's the same. It goes like with like faith and religion as well.
To add on to what you were saying, like I feel like when you meet someone, wisdom speaks for itself. So like, say for example, there are false prophets and stuff like that. But like, if you're in a church or in a denomination or whatever, like when somebody is coming to you with a level of wisdom, or you can just see that their aura is something different. It's not a reflection of the world. It's a reflection of God, or it's a reflection of something holy or something pure. So I feel like when people kind of take a step back and not kind of idolize like, oh, this prophet is going to help me, like pray for me throughout the whole week, and then the seed is going to be sowed and I'm going to reap my harvest tomorrow. And do you get what I mean? Like, I feel like people just need to have the spirit of discernment when they speak to people, because if you don't, then a false prophet or a prophet who may be guided by God but not even listening to God's direction can lead people astray. When God said turn right, man's turning left, but he's still like a prophet of God. So I feel as though like us as individuals just need to take heed to wisdom 100%. And understand that, and not always think that people are leading you in the right direction, even if they are followers of God.
That's key.
But you know, some people are desperate though. That's
true. True.
And they always prey on those people that are desperate.
Yeah.
Those people that are so low in those certain circumstances that they have
Easy to manipulate.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy.
No, I agree with you.
And that's why I feel like with all of this stuff, well, I see all this stuff.
Spac Nation.
Exhibit A.
They've rebranded. Don't forget, they're rebranded. It's Nation,
comment.
Family Nation, Nation Family.
Family
Is that what they
Nation.
call them?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
they've
all good
rebranded.
now?
Yeah.
What? You're lying.
Rebranded.
Wow.
I don't even know.
They've rebranded.
Yeah,
No
because
comment.
the SPAC has so much
rebranded.
negativity around.
But yeah, again, like going off what you're saying, I feel like that is facts. Like I feel like before you even decide on like following this church or whatever, I feel like you need to do some work individually, find out what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because even like outside Christianity, there's so many faiths now. Like even all these like new age stuff, like all these like crystals and all that kind of stuff. Like it's always people following someone else. Like a lot of these times it's like, oh, this person put me on or whatever. When did you know? Like I'd never hear like with any like faith or like religion, like most people, I don't really hear people saying like, okay, this is something that I kind of went into, like I researched myself about. It's always, oh yeah, this person told me to do this or try this or buy that or do this. Like you are gonna get misled if you're not looking for something or trying to like, you know, educate yourself about something. There is opportunity of you being misled by somebody else.
Wow. Just as a quick side note, like crystals are not like a bad thing. Just
I'm just saying like just
I know you was using it as an example.
I'm not saying whether it's good or bad.
Like obviously there's a lot of different religions, a lot of different churches, but why do you think there are so many atheists in the world? Yes.
Sorry, quick before you move on, did you want us to have a conversation about your comment on the
Bible
and different?
Yeah.
She even
Sorry, I took.
I thought we'll come back to it.
But which one of you just
ready
first?
now. He's ready now.
Why is there so many? Why is there so many different versions? Like what one do you know? Do you believe?
King
Personally-
James.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New
so
Living Translation.
There's a lot.
so for those who don't know, the Bible was first originally written in Hebrew. Hebrew language, and then I believe it was translated into Greek. Personally, for me, the versions that I've been reading, well, that I know and I've been reading, are the King James versions, New King James version, because those are kind of as close as it gets. I don't know. I'll be honest. I can't directly say it's exactly how it was.
It won't be.
Yeah.
It won't be.
But that's as close as it gets to the translations. But then, because again, humans are involved, and there are different interpretations, like you said, different denominations, like Baptist Church, Pentecostal Church, this church. You will find some things just don't match, if that makes sense. As long as there's human involvement, there will always be some kind of discrepancy. But in terms of like the versions, those are the ones that are, if I could say, more practical or close to like the original kind of text. Yeah.
But how much weight does the Bible hold in terms of your religion, your faith? Like,
I see it as personally for me, I see the Bible as a guide. It's like we're all in this thing called life. And just like anything, like to set up a camera or I don't know,
Instructions.
yeah.
Yeah.
You always need something to kind of show you maybe what to do, what not to do. And there's always that kind of classic ideology or thinking that God doesn't want me to do this, I need to do this, I can't do that. But then that's religion. Like, you don't love your parents, your sisters, your
When
brothers,
they're
your cousins
disciplining
through set rules. That is not a relationship, you know. And the things you do for them and the things you don't do, you do because you love them.
Yeah.
You know, so I see it personally as a guide. If you follow the guide, you'll probably have more success in achieving this or doing that or building this. And maybe if you don't follow the guide, you might like have some missteps in some other areas.
wait.
I was just gonna.
Go on.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, because my next point would be from what you've just said.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
comes there are so many billionaires that are atheists?
Okay.
Okay, so we just in the atheist question.
Oh, the atheist question now.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause-
Yeah. Go on.
Okay, cool.
Okay, it's okay.
Well, in terms of monetary riches, I don't think that has, you know, a direct implication on how close someone is to God. Because for me personally, like even going back to what you said about pastors and priests and whatnot, whether they're pastor, priest, or even like your friend or family member, the way I see it is like, does this person reflect the character of God? You know, are they someone that shows the love that this God is apparently supposed to show? Or let's say in most of our cases, Jesus shows. And going back to like the early days, kind of similar to you, Deonti, you know, I would be personally in my experience so fixated, you know, on the religion aspect.
Yeah.
But in fact, I would be inviting people to my church and events and stuff like that. But then thank God, like it clicked to me to understand that why am I only trying to build even these relationships just for, even though what I think is positive, again, and bringing people to church, but I'm not trying to love them as human beings. You know, that doesn't make sense. That's not the character of God. God doesn't care about, you know, just filling or packing churches or getting money, you know. He cares about people's well-being, physically and spiritually. But in terms of like billionaires, I don't think it has a direct like implication or correlation like with how close someone is.
I must say that I did some research and there are over 2 billion Christians.
Okay.
And then there are over 1 billion people. Obviously, 1.91 was Muslims, which is like the second highest. But before the Muslims, there was like over 1 billion people that are unaffiliated. Like,
That class themselves.
Exactly.
Atheist.
No affiliation.
Yeah. So and why is there so many? Like, that's a lot. That's a high number, you know.
For me personally, yeah, like I don't know, like I don't understand. Well, I can't really comprehend how someone can really be atheist. Like, I studied science, yeah, like in uni or whatever.
This guy, have you guys? I'll say again. Have you guys watched Jimmy Neutron?
Don't even do that. Don't do that.
He's the black Jimmy Neutron,
Don't do that.
degree in
Don't do that.
biomedical science.
Diamonds. Okay.
Sorry, man, I had to do it.
Why is also this
So
guy?
what are you saying? The Big Bang and that.
All I'm saying is, I don't understand, how you can look around, look at the world, and just say that
And,
everything happened by chance.
Yeah.
What?
100%.
Yeah.
Like even like you're not even having to, not
It
even
just
going to like the
doesn't make sense.
details. Just look around. Just look at people. Just look at a
Someone
woman
created
giving
that.
birth.
Yeah.
They're just saying that this will happen by chance.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Come on, man. Like I can't just this mic stand can't just bear. Somebody had to make this. So I don't understand that. For me, in all honesty, I feel like anyone, and again, cancel me if you want, or
It doesn't matter, man.
I actually don't care. If you're telling me that you don't believe in God, I'm never trying to say that you should believe in what
No,
I
but
believe.
believe in
But
higher
believe that there is
power.
There's a
something.
higher power.
If you don't, then that's just you're just arrogant and ignorant and arrogant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is, and I feel like a lot of people that don't believe in God, they're coming from a place of like comfort. They've got everything good going in their lives. Like they don't need to know a God. Because most times, like when people, find God or start praying is in dire times. When
trust
a
me.
family member is sick or somebody
That's what you need God.
That's when you need God. But when you're earning all right in your work, and
you're not checking for God again.
You're not checking for God. So again, I feel like it comes from a place of arrogance, ignorance, and just comfort.
So, do you guys think Scientology was just created for the rich?
That was definitely created for the rich.
So
Even if you go into the history of the guy that created that religion, like
what is Scientology? I never really looked into it anyway.
Man, this from what I know, they basically believe one alien created everything, and then like I don't remember. It's something like this.
Just a lot of scientific
E.T.
stuff.
It's not. It's not even sciencey at all.
Is it not? Because they always preaching science.
Them lot, I don't know what them man know. What I know, Tom Cruise is a scientist. That's what I know.
Yeah, he's the leader.
And I know they eat placentas. That's what I know.
Apparently, it's good for you.
Yeah,
Well,
you could put it into a
Maybe my own. I don't know. Apparently, there's a lot of nutrients and stuff.
It's good, yeah.
There's placenta like face masks.
So you people are telling me you're gonna eat
You turn it into capsules, like tablets, and then you take it.
It's really good,
Yeah,
like for
it's
pregnant
good
women,
for pregnant
after you
women,
have your
yeah.
babies and
Serious?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
I mean, can't you just get those nutrients from like fruits?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It's different, bro.
I mean,
It's not the same because that's
GMO
like
fruit.
from a life that was growing inside you.
Yeah.
but all I'm saying is,
It's different,
So
bro.
how
Can't
did
be
those how did those nutrients get inside you? It came from what you've eaten and what you've taken.
Yeah,
in.
but then it's
Exactly.
turned into something that you
Even
can't
better.
actually ingest.
Yeah,
yourself.
from the creations.
Okay, you don't know better than me, boy.
Says the biomedical scientist.
I just wanted to ask you, since you said that, like the Bible is like a guide to life, as so many things as like the evolution of life and so many new terms and all these new things and people, characters, like genderless, all of this, like
Fluidity. And
how
is another
do you
topic.
think it's still adaptable like to today's age?
Yeah, I think for me, very much so. I think again, going back again to religion, if you look at the Bible, obviously there are certain things that you can carry, but if you look at the Bible raw as it was back then and you bring it today, it's not going to make any sense. But there are guidances and advices there that can be applied in today's life. Is there something specifically you were talking about, or
Not specifically, no.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in general because obviously there's a lot of new characteristics that people possess and how they identify themselves and
we can
even
talk about
social
gender.
media, like a lot of things affect people's beliefs and faith and change their perception.
Well, we could even talk about, again, so it's a very sticky subject. We can talk about gender a little bit.
Sticky ones.
Obviously, we believe that God created a man and a woman to be together. Obviously, with how things are going or have been going, is very different in our society and culture right now. But there's a reason why that guidance has been there. I think even when you guys came on in March, we spoke about how like men bring these qualities, women bring these qualities.
Yeah.
They're different and they complete each other.
Yeah.
But even though we all kind of wish at some point in life that, what if I was with someone that was even like me, of maybe different sex, but like me, you probably wouldn't because you can't stand yourself. Being in the same room with yourself, living with yourself, whatever, but having someone that is different from you, it kind of completes you in that kind of way. But it's more difficult, even with biological
The biological makeup of a human
exactly.
being. Yeah.
Makeup of a human being. That it probably won't be as successful as the normal relationship between a man and a woman would be. Yeah.
I like that answer.
It's a bit sticky.
That was really good answer. Very good answer. You put it so well.
Yeah, very diplomatic.
But also,
Yeah? Politics?
But now we can't leave this episode without talking about these false prophets like Spec Nation. what they're doing to people. What do you guys think about that? Like to young people as well. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be the future leaders, you know.
Yeah.
For me, I'm against all of that, yeah. I'm against all of that. But then at the same time, yeah, I'm blaming the guys that are doing it, yeah, all these false prophets or whatnot. And I'm also blaming the people themselves for being so naive. Again, it's so easy. Maybe I'm talking from a place, again, maybe I'm being a bit ignorant. Maybe I'm a bit ignorant, yeah. But for me, I'm telling you, if you've actually maybe read the Bible or actually like listened to somebody that knows what they're saying, kind of thing, you will know that you'll be able to decipher a lot of these guys that are, you know, preaching whatever kind of gospel or whatever. You'll be able to suss them out. In all honesty, anybody that tries to tell you that, okay, yeah, if you serve God, you're gonna be rich. That's not true. It doesn't say that, and that's what most of these churches are doing, and that's what most of these people, especially young people, because they see these guys are dripped out. Oh, I'm going to church for money. Come on.
I understand what you're saying. Like, I completely understand and I agree with you. However, I feel as though like what people don't take into consideration is that like with churches or with is it SPAC Nation? In particular, a lot of their recruitment is coming from young people. Now, remember, young people as in like teenagers. Now, they may not have like the same knowledge as we have. Like, we're grown adults, right?
Yeah, that's true.
One, they may not have the same maturity or level of maturity that we have. To a lot of them were in very like difficult situations. So maybe
No family support.
Yeah, no family support or no kind of social solidarity around them, or they're having issues with their parents or all of these other external issues, and predators know how they know what prey look like. And when you I'm not gonna say that, but
You're with Unscripted here. Unscripted.
Let me say it with my chest. I was gonna say not to say that they are predators, but then from the examples, they are predators. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say it out there. Yeah, come to the pod and
come to the thing. Come to talk.
No, but I'm saying like a lot, and the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of these young people took out loans in their own name, right? And not small loans, large loans, and like business loans and so on, and handed that money over to their youth pastor, to other pastors within the church.
Pastor Toby.
And only someone that has been manipulated can get away with something like that. Because if a young person, like I remember when I was young and I was in the church, nobody could tell me anything about my youth pastor. Do you get what I mean?
You defended your life.
Yeah, I defended her with my life. Nobody couldn't tell me anything because, but also because I trusted her, but I could see the fruits of her labor. I could see like her praying to God. I can see like the spiritual characteristics that she had at the time, right? But when you're in that kind of situation in SPAC Nation and you're being manipulated, you're young, you're naive, you're very sensitive to all of this new information, like you were saying, they're gonna see them drip down and want to be a part of that, not realizing that the Bible says render your heart and not your garments. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, so I do understand what you're saying. No, but I do understand what you're saying, but just remember that there are a small percentage or a large percentage of young people that are just naive, that are looking for a home outside of their home, or they are looking for people that they can lean upon or to seek guidance from. So their intentions were pure, but it's just that what they met with their intentions were impure. Exactly. So just please, like,
because you know what they do now. Now they are apparently Pastor Toby giving everyone big houses, like 14 bedrooms and that.
Let them
all live in there.
All living in there,
and
they're sharing rooms and that.
It's too much.
And they're paying like £600 a month, but like it's like a mansion, and then they make you feel like, oh my God, I'm in a mansion, I'm living the big life. They take you out to eat. They call it trap houses because it is, because like then those people, when they're in that place, then they're constantly manipulated. 24/7. It's hard to get out of that.
In fact, what would you say to people, you know, that are interacting with faith, religion, whatever, and that's the first example that they
I've seen people. I've worked with this girl. She's part of SPAC Nation. I see her, and I see the way they get so excited. Like every little event that they do is just like like so much joy, so much praise. Like it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, but you understand why the
I understand why because of what
yeah.
they're doing, what they're using to get these people. Like
Yeah.
it's bad man, and he's out here with stacks of money, throwing money on Davido. The church money, the seed money.
Unfortunately,
The seed money.
And they pull up in their nice cars and everything.
Woo!
It's actually mad, and that's why, like, for me, like, I don't. All of these kind of I call them. They are predators.
Yeah.
They are predators.
Bottom line,
because,
man.
because they actually are capitalizing on the insecurities and the naivety of a lot of young people. So, like, for me, if I ever come into contact with these people, I'll let them know.
Yeah.
I'll let them know what you
Have
guys
to.
are doing.
Yeah,
because
you have
again,
to.
there's a lot of people. Again, like you mentioned, there's a lot of people that have gone into these like trap houses, whatever, that they don't, their relationship with their parents isn't there, or they've lost a parent, or they're in the care system.
Yeah,
all
or they're
this kind
just
of stuff.
looking for,
Exactly.
you know.
So there's a lot of vulnerable people there that these girls are taking advantage of. The only thing I would say, and this is just a general message for everyone, like regardless of everything, do your research. Do your research in everything.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever just take one person's word as gospel truth.
Yeah.
Don't let someone just come and tell you Corona was started by 5G and then you just gospel truth.
Yeah.
Research,
true,
like, in anything, like whether it's going to a church or going to, I don't know, whatever. This is not only down to faith. Like, do your research, because again, no matter what kind of like steed you hold someone to, kind of thing, people are always people at the end of the day.
I have another scripture for that.
Go on,
Really
drop
preaching
it.
today.
Drop it.
She's really preaching
Wait,
today.
what was the last thing that you said?
Wow.
No matter what stage people like, you can't like the people are people. You know.
Yeah. So basically, all man fall short of the glory of God.
Exactly.
Yeah. So everyone is human at the end of the day.
And even bouncing off that, it's important to even remember, even like regardless of whatever faith you're in, remember who you're meant to be serving. You're not meant to be serving the man that's preaching.
Yes.
You're not meant to be serving the pastor.
Man.
You respect him. And
A lot of people forget that.
You don't serve him. You're meant to be
yeah.
serving God. If you're saying you're a Christian or Muslim, whatever, you're meant to be serving your creator, not the
Get that
man.
there,
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're serving the man. I'm not saying don't honor the person that
They're serving the man that's cheating on his wife and he's there preaching
They're
faithfulness.
spitting in people's eyes.
Yeah.
They're bathing naked women.
They're
It's been the eyes. I know what you're talking about.
mad stuff. It's mad. It's
there was
mad.
one clip that came out. The guy was putting water in his mouth and then spraying on people's faces, like
Water. And it was spitting on people's faces. Like,
it's too much.
Why?
Yeah. The thing is, again, going back to like the Bible being a guide, if you read, you meditate on the Bible, the guide, quote unquote, you'll see that, like you said, you'll put like two and two together and see that this is not it.
adding up.
This is not it.
Yeah.
This is not it. And then after, you'll be able to see through like, the crap of other people.
And another thing, like I don't remember which one of you guys was saying like the advice that you would give to people. One thing that I would say is like, if you're truly seeking like a higher power, God will reveal himself to you. Like if you're really like intentional and just like, okay, God, I don't know if you're real or whatever it is, I need you to show me. God will show up.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people just get lost in like the whole not necessarily facade of church, but like the whole orchestra of like church and all of the events and all of the ministries and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, cut that out. Like you were saying, go straight to the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, whatever you read, and truly say to God, okay, God, I'm having a bit of trouble. Like what everyone's saying is a bit confusing, but like help me like get to know you or reveal yourself to me so that I can become a believer. And God will reveal himself. Like it may be in like the most craziest way, but God will show up in that time. And I feel like when people maybe take that approach, then it would be easier for them to decipher the crap, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. The only people that I do kind of feel sorry for again is those vulnerable people that
It's a lot, man.
But older adults and people, if you're, I say just do your research. Do your research.
Yeah.
What about the facts that, like, obviously the way music is used as well to, you know, in terms of gospel and all of that. But then we have like drill music, drill gospel.
Gospel. Oh,
You go first.
What do you think about
chat
that?
mash.
Don't kill me. Oh my gosh.
That was actually a banger, man. But anyway,
This song goes good.
do you know what? Yeah, again, like you were just touching on drill, yeah, because I've had this conversation a lot, yeah, just about drill. Drill now is come past the place of its original roots where it was just about violence and stuff like that. Now it's actually there's a tempo to it. There's actually musical like attributes to the sound of drill. So I feel like you can detach the past of it being, you know, associated with, you know, crime and you know,
but that's
stabbing and
the
stuff like
instrumental,
that.
not the lyrics.
Okay, but then that's what I'm saying. Drill now is gone past it just being the lyrics, maybe. That's what it was before, maybe the lyrics. Now it's the sound. Now that's why you hear like people in other countries. That's all like Pop Smoke. Like he's not necessarily talking about the same thing like someone in 410 or whatever original we were talking about, but the beat gives you that kind of sound.
Yeah.
Kanye West on what song was it on his on Donda? I can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, everyone was like, "Oh, Kanye West is on drill." It's the beat now.
But do you think they're using it?
Off the grid.
Are they using it just like as an evolution, you know, going with the times, or are they using it to prey more young people?
Do you know what? I mean, with all when you think about it, yeah, like all musical genres really, like you could probably like go back into time and there's probably like negativity that's associated with all music, whether it was rap, whether it was maybe not R&B actually, but everything else other than really like maybe R&B and soul, like even jazz, like jazz it has a dark history as well. All of these genres have necessarily have a bit of a dark history, but is evolved.
Well, R&B does as well. Let's not forget R. Kelly.
It's true. That's even that as well. So it has evolved. But going back to your question, I do feel like these guys, they shall not be named, they are taking advantage of young people by trying to entice them with what young people
they
like.
want.
Yeah.
I think on this one, I'm actually going to disagree with him.
Okay.
I think, you know, when it comes to like, let's say gospel drill in this context, it's a sticky one. I agree with what you're saying because I remember someone even showed me 2 years ago a love song, love drill song.
Wow.
I was thinking, what the heck? I didn't even know that even existed. But I don't know. I think that it's not about feelings. I don't believe that faith is just about feelings because your emotions always change. But there are certain genres of music that kind of maybe might not sit well within you. Like, have you ever been watching something or listening to music and it just felt really heavy?
Yeah.
So personally for me, I think it depends. But then it's not a strict rule of don't listen to it. But I'm saying personally for me, I think that, you know, when it comes to drill, it's from where it came from. I don't know. It's a bit of a sticky one.
It is. But that's why I said, yeah, where it is now is different from where it came from. Like, listen to a lot of drill artists now, they don't talk about the same stuff that where it originated from. Like, it's not always Sheffins. A lot of the artists now, especially the big guys that are now, like, well, kind of elevated from drill, they don't talk about that stuff at all, kind of thing. So it was a bit of an evolution, but obviously that core drill where they were talking about Sheffrin and putting somebody in a spliff and all of that kind of stuff.
This is crazy.
It's mad.
It was crazy when they were wearing like the balaclavas and on the altar.
Wait, they were doing that in church?
Yes.
And performing.
That's when it was crazy.
Yeah, very, very
Like,
crazy.
I was calm with the beat.
There's no church walk into and see that and feel that's okay. You never need to believe in God. That's crazy.
That one is a bit
Doing gun signs in church,
So that leads me on to, was you gonna ask me? No, like we're discussing music on like a micro scale, and I want to look at it like even broader in terms of like Satan being the archangel of music. And I remember you know like when I was growing up in church, like they always said to me like, don't listen to secular music. You can ask them lot. Like I would always be
me too. It was me.
And stuff
We're
like
very
that.
similar, definitely. Yeah.
So like, I just wanted to bring up that conversation in terms of like now we've been speaking about drill and how like that's coming into the church, but I know of like so many other songs or like beats and stuff that have like found its way into the church, or there's like a gospel version of an R&B song, or there's like, say for example, an artist that I like when I was young, not too young, but like sixth form time, college times, Mali Music. I loved him and I've met him, like amazing artist.
He was amazing. You met him? You're
amazing artist.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like now from his early stuff and then his evolution, and now he does still do like a lot of gospel and stuff, but he's more like secular,
it's
or
more
commercial,
broader, commercial,
broader,
I
so
guess.
more love, but more like mankind and humanity and kind of thing. And I just wanted to know in terms of like looking at things from like, okay, I've always learned that Satan is the angel of music, and in order to get like followers and stuff like that, he uses music, vibration, frequency in order to like make people steer their path instead of like going directly to God. So I just wanted to know you lot's thoughts on that.
Just reminds me, I don't know if you guys watched back in the day, there was, what would they call it when they were exposing all of that?
The Illuminati.
The reversing the sound, the music.
I call it days.
Jay-Z, throw the rock.
Yeah.
Throw the rock.
Days, I was having nightmares.
Yeah,
Even
I
in
stopped
school.
listening to music after that.
It was quite shocking,
It was a lot, man.
I stopped.
It was quite shocking.
Rihanna and everything.
There are certain songs I still do, you know.
Symbolism and the
Telling me
music
Snoop
videos.
Dogg did this, that. I said, nah, I'm not gonna lie, it had me on the ropes. But it's again, music is a very powerful tool. Like I feel like we can all agree with that. Like it can get you in the right mood for anything. Like
Frequencies.
it's real stuff. It's real stuff. Like, so again, to kind of look at music and say that, like, do you know what? Yeah, I feel like, yes, from person to person, the influence that music has on you, it can vary. Like for me, I'm somebody that I can block out like what somebody's saying and just appreciate the music for the notes and stuff like that kind of thing. I can do that. But there's a lot of people that can't do that. A lot of people think they can do that and they can't do that as well. A lot of people that will listen to drill and think that, it's just a song. Their mind is getting finessed. They don't even know it. They're just becoming a lot. They're just becoming desensitized to all the graphic stuff that is going on. So music is a very powerful thing. So again, going back to what you were saying in terms of like the devil being the archangel or music and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, because it's funny because I swear like Muslims as well. Even like Muslims as well, like they don't, I think, I can't remember, they don't listen to music. Well, they're not meant to. A lot of them are not meant to listen to music as well, which is interesting. But I can understand where some of that comes from. For me personally as well, music is a very, very good tool. And it can be used for
and it works. It's effective.
That's what I'm saying. It's effective. It's proper effective. Music gets me in whatever mood, whether I need to go to the gym and just push something that I wasn't able to push. It will do that. Or whether I need calm vibes, it will calm me down. And maybe I need to revise.
Music.
True.
I think it comes down to self-awareness as well, because I think we are products. Growing up, we're all products of the things we've seen, we've heard, experienced. So in this context of music, I think we just need to be self-aware to know what we're taking in our spirit. I think that's a big thing, because you can even be, I think Google's talking.
Feeding up.
I think Google's listening in. Stop right now.
I think you can even be, you can meet up with an old friend, catch up, and then after like continue on with your relationship. But what I found personally, I think some of us or most of us agree here, is that you can even start taking maybe some habits, taking away, even, I don't know, for me personally, there was one time where I was laughing in a similar way to a guy that I kind of, reconnected with.
Wow.
Okay, it sounds weird, but
It happens. It
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Am I missing something here?
So yeah, I think it just comes down to like to self-awareness and understanding and knowing what you're taking inside, because you will always be a product of what you hear, especially like even with music. Like I'm a Christian, but I listen to Drake. I listen to other secular artists. So I could say personally, when it comes to I would say I'm naturally confident, but when I'm listening to hip hop, I get that extra confidence. So we're always pulling something from the things we listen to and we see. So we just need to always be really self-aware, what we're pulling, what we're taking in. Yeah.
That leads on to like, do you feel pressure to like follow the right path? Because do you like believe in heaven and hell? Like if God is such an amazing God, why would he send you to hell to burn? Like there's that contradicting thing, because like sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, like I need to act this way because I don't want to go to hell, like I can't do this. But it's like we're gonna sin, like
again, God is the only judge. Like a lot of people tell you that if you do this, you go to hell. If you do that, if you go to hell. Obviously, that's sometimes is based on what the Bible says, and sometimes it's based on what their own interpretation is. But ultimately, God is the only judge. I do believe that there's a heaven and hell. I feel like for everything, there's an action, there's a reaction, there's punishment, there's good, there's bad. If I hit you now, your girls will come and tell me off. There has to be is natural consequence. So again, as much as God is all loving as well, like imagine a God that's all loving and all good.
Just read First Testament. Just read the First Testament,
Old
like
Testament.
the Old Testament. Sorry, like
and okay, even touching on that,
God and God in the New Testament.
Yeah, again. What is important for us to understand is that as much as, and when I said God is like all loving and all good and stuff like that, I'm not saying he's all loving and he's just going to allow anything.
No,
to
God
run.
is a jealous God.
He's a jealous God.
I thought no sin is bigger than another.
No, sin is sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Sin
So
is
it's like, how do you get judged then?
I can't answer that question.
Obviously, but it's just something that's like
in your mind.
what would
kind of
send
thing.
you to hell? Like it's just why, if you are such a loving God, why would you
repent as well? That
okay, and then
not being forgiven.
Do you want
let me
holding
finish.
grudges.
Like for me, again, all sin is sin. I don't think one sin is heavier than another. They're all sin. Ultimately, I do believe that God is gonna judge and weigh up what you've done and whether you lived right or wrong. But at the same time, I do feel like I'm even losing track of what I was saying.
It's okay.
I've been thinking too many different things. So I do think that, again, when a lot of people think about sin, there's certain sins that they think and say that this is more, higher than other. But then that's a human construct. It doesn't say that this sin is more greater than that in the Bible or anything like that kind of thing. But then knowing what to do and what's wrong and what's right and what's wrong, I feel like going back to what Ellie said, myself as a Christian, I get that from the Bible. That's like my guideline kind of book or my guideline instruction to give me an idea of what is wrong and what is right for me.
How about you, Ali?
Yeah, so it's gonna get a bit deep. Sorry.
It has to.
So it's the points are gonna meet up eventually. But if you look around the world, there is evil in the world. I mean, you don't have to look far. I mean, a perfect example is what happened in Russia and Ukraine. We're all born, and no one, you look at a baby, a child, you don't see any evil. They're pure, they're completely fine. But not to scare anyone, but there are negative spirits. And unfortunately, some people allow them in their lives. And that's why you see the world is kind of upside down in different kind of ways. So at least in the biblical context, Christians, we kind of believe that hell was actually created so all the negative spirits go there. You know, once the world is over and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to go there. And that's why, going back to what I was saying before, God wants to pursue a relationship with us. And one thing that I learned is that he's not asking for me to be perfect. No one's going to be perfect. Like Shagan said, sin is sin. But when you're pursuing a relationship, naturally, those are followed by actions as well, that you want to try and please that person that you love. You want to avoid displeasing them. And because you know that they love you, you see that the way they're trying to guide you is trying to protect you from A, B, C, and D. And that even though you will make mistakes, they're still going to love you. But you just continue in pursuing that relationship. And then everything kind of takes care of itself, really. Yeah.
And just to end this lovely conversation.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, it's a deep topic, but where would you say you are now in terms of your faith?
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to people to strengthen their faith? What steps or what?
For me, in terms of my faith, I believe in God and I'll always believe in God. Again, I'm a Christian, and again, like, I don't know can you rank it? It's a process. Like sometimes you go backwards, you go forwards kind of thing. But again, as long as you know what your intentions are, my intentions are to kind of build a relationship with God. Again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. It's a process. It's a process for me personally. Advice for anyone really, again, is, I don't know, like, if I'm giving advice to somebody that doesn't believe in God at all, I'll say just look around you, really. Look around you.
Look at
research
nature.
it, look at nature. Like there's so many things I can go into. Like again, as somebody that loves science and God and that studies this stuff, like again, how can stuff just appear out of nowhere? They tell us energy cannot be created and destroyed, but yet the world and everything just was created by itself.
Yeah.
That's a contradiction kind of thing. So, and finally, I'll just say, everybody just do your research. Do your research.
I think in terms of faith, I'm very thankful to find like faith and like still continuously building a relationship with God, even from when we were like in school times. And that's when I kind of established it, because it really helped me to build a foundation for my life. And kind of in ways it helped me to kind of mature in other senses, maybe different to some of my peers. Not saying no one's better than anyone else like that. And I realized a lot, even as I think you mentioned, Ria, about like asking questions and whatnot. At least in the Christian context, God likes it when we have questions. And when you think about it, if we didn't have questions, would it be faith? Because we don't have the answers to everything. And like even growing up, your parents can try and guide you in a way, one way or another way. They may know better than you in some areas, but you also need to trust them, you know, in certain aspects, you know, to certain different extents. Any advice to people? Just pursue a relationship, you know, with God. People are going to let you down, family, friends, especially in the context of like church. You go to church. I've seen it in my church. I'm gonna lie, I've seen it. But going back to what Shagan said, I know who I'm going there for. I know why I'm there. It's like work. If my guy goes to slap the boss and he gets sacked, you know, I'm not gonna put that directly on, let's say, the owner of the institution. I'm gonna do what I need to do, but I'm not gonna kind of just stick what he's done and then associate straight away with the boss. So yeah, just pursue a relationship and, you know, just focus on God. Don't be deceived. You know, like you said, do your research on these scammers out there.
Well, I feel like my journey with God, it's becoming stronger and stronger every day. Like I feel like the outside world, I just tune it out. Like me and God, we know what we have. Like, you know. And yeah, it's just a learning curve. All day, every day, even talking to people, even this conversation has taught me a lot. So I think when it comes to religion, people are very skeptical to speak about it, and that's an issue, because we should be open to teaching, debating, discussing all these things, because then we get our answers and we might find a new path, strengthen our relationship in some type of way. So I think that's very important. And with advice, I would just say, people, like, you're not perfect. Like, no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. As long as you are not holding grudges, being forgiven, and being open to new stuff, then your faith will only get better and stronger.
Well, where I am today is my relationship is building with God. Like, I believe in God. I pray like every day, and I'm working on getting closer to Him. I just kind of feel like I don't know how people live without not believing in something. It's like, how do you just get up and just, I don't know, like, why is life worth living if there's nothing
purpose?
You need, exactly. So 100%. I'm just gonna keep building my relationship. I've learned a lot today, actually, from you guys.
And advice.
Oh, we're all learning.
Advice is probably don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you know what you have with God, you don't, like, okay, you can look at these things, but like you said, do your research and just don't feel too pressured, because at a time I felt really pressured to be like, oh shit, I need to do this and do that because I don't want to go to hell. It's just like, live righteously, just know that you're doing the right thing, and everything will just work out, man. Just keep praying, man. Stay prayed up.
Boy, I felt that one. For me, where I'm at today, I would say like everyone else, I'm still like growing. I'm still learning. I'm just trying to know and understand God for myself. And like still, I will always ask questions, like God knows. Like I will always have my questions and so on. But I feel as though it's important to recognize that we are just flesh. And that there's a difference between the flesh and the spirit. And like the Bible talks about, like, the flesh is weak but the spirit is willing. And for me, that's like touching for me, because like not everything is like what we see here in this world. Like, a lot of things happen in the spirit before it happens here. So like, when we, like, that's why I said I felt it so much. When you pray, you're doing things in the spiritual realm that doesn't even happen here yet. If that's what you believe, well, that's what I believe anyway. But for me, it's just like a continual growing phase. Like, for example, is that someone's phone?
Hey, what is that alarm for? What's that alarm for?
Bedtime. I'm looking.
What was I saying now?
Continual process.
It's a continual process. The example that I was going to give is like a flower. A flower isn't a flower like that. It's a seed that goes in soil that needs to be watered and cared for and nourished. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like if we start to look at ourselves like something delicate, or like something that's not going to be the complete or end product immediately, then that's when we kind of take time to get to know God and understand God. The advice that I would give is be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Understand that sometimes God has blessed you with all the tools that you need, and you're the one that's standing in the way of your own blessings. So I just feel like some people, the advice that I would give is just like to be you, but to seek after God, obviously, but to also understand that like you may have more questions than you have answers. But you will receive answers at the right time. And sometimes you're not ready to go into your next stage of life yet until you've healed, or until you've learned certain lessons. So that's the advice.
That's the problem though. A lot of people want, like, it's
the immediate gratification.
They feel like, oh, God's not real because this hasn't happened straight away. Like you said, it's a seed, you got to plant it, and it will come to you at the right stage. Like God may feel like, right, you don't not having this now, but I'll give it to you at a time when you're ready. Like I don't know if you lot have ever seen that picture. and then he's giving the little girl like the teddy bear, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't want this one, and he's got like the big teddy bear behind him. I've got like, you know what I'm saying,
I got gifts for you.
Don't be wanting it now.
Like even with us, you know, we were trying to do this event thing even before the pandemic. It didn't happen.
It's timing.
But
It happened.
It happened.
we're in a better position now.
At the
for it to
right
happen.
time.
Exactly. In the right
Exactly
time.
that.
We've got to act on faith and not fear people.
Yes, trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And-
I did not give you
Bars.
Sound bite.
Spirit, I feel it.
That is good.
One more thing as well. I really agree with what you said, Deonti, about looking for answers as well. You know, look for them. Like, pursue, look for it, and you'll find the answers.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because like there were times when I had to learn the hard way, bro.
There's always a lesson to be learned.
Exactly. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you guys.
Having you guys.
No, thank you guys. We are honored.
I wish I could spend more time with you guys.
There'll be
Definitely the last time.
Definitely
not the last time. Definitely not the last time.
Amazing.
Definitely not the last time.
Always amazing, like topics, discussions.
Yeah.
I just love taking it in, man.
Yeah. Well, next time when you come on our side, he'll be there this time.
Yeah,
you better have a redo.
We're gonna have to do a redo.
we need to do a redo.
Now you know what you missed.
All in your hands.
This is my hands. I'll organize it. There'll be snacks, everything.
Yes.
You are the snack
We love
guy.
that. We love that.
Snack.
But yeah, great conversation. And catch us next week.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Bye.